Hello, everybody. Okay, well, no one's here yet, but is this direction good? This might have to be. I think so. I've got a bunch of moving boxes and random crap behind me, but that's fine. We don't have to have pretty settings, we can imagine. Whoops. Okay. Alrighty, so, yoga is a wonderful practice that can be practiced anywhere. So I'm practicing kind of amidst a bunch of packing materials and boxes because that's what I have. So, we might not always have the most beautiful setup. We might have to get very creative with where we practice our yoga, but know that the yoga that you truly practice comes from within. And so that's what we'll be practicing this evening. I guess we'll start with some breath awareness, and then we're going to take ourselves into a couple different postures, and then we'll do some nice mindfulness towards the end. So I hope that this will be a nice reset to your Monday. Sometimes Monday doesn't start the way we want it to start. Sometimes we start with a little bit more stress, and maybe we want to hit that reset button. So I hope that this Monday night class can be that reset button for you. Or I know that some of you are going to be rewatching this video on Wednesday or Friday mornings. So those are also really great landmarks throughout the week. So you have a reset midweek or perhaps a reset for the weekend so you can truly enjoy the extra time that you have. And my dog's been alone all day, so she's extra energized tonight, so I may have to get creative with keeping her entertained while we go through our practice. So we're going to come to a comfortable seated position. Please lay down, Charm. Lay down. For right now, please. Not right now. Lay down, please. Oh, I love my dog. I understand. You want lots of attention. Okay. Come to whatever your comfortable seat is. Try and rest your hands on your lap or on your side, wherever you feel the most comfortable. Close your eyes and start to take gentle inhales through your nose and exhales through your nose. Allow for the closed eye position to already invite the relaxation into your body. And allow for your breath to start channeling some sensory withdrawal and movement. Stop. 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 Wait. Stop. It's always helpful to set an intention for your practice. Intentions can be something for yourself or perhaps for somebody else. My intention is to stay calm and relaxed despite the ongoing persistence of my dog and wanting to play in this moment. To not be upset or frustrated with her. Very nice. Let's gently open up our eyes, take our right ear towards our right shoulder, and if that feels comfortable enough for you, then go ahead and maintain this position. If you want to take this just a little bit deeper, you can take that right hand, slither it around the outside of your left part of your neck, and just add a little overpressure. Taking it a little further, that left hand can slither around the lower back. Charming, please. Thank you. Have anybody watching with me yet? No. Okay, then you don't have to see this embarrassment of my dog just yet. Take the right arm, we're gonna release it from the side of the neck if you chose to place it there, and I'm gonna place it down on the floor beside me. The left arm, we're gonna rise it up and come into a side bend stretch. And it's not just about reaching the arm upward, but reaching the hip downward. So we're gonna create a multi-directional stretch here. If you're tending to kind of slouch forward a little bit in the chest. I want you to redirect your chest up towards the ceiling so that the heart center is in that direction. The palm can face inward, and that will help to reach the thumb in a backward direction. It activates certain muscles of your spine and your shoulder, very helpful postural muscles. And we're always reaching down with the hip and up with the fingertips to maximize this posture. The gaze could come upward if that feels comfortable for the neck. If not, you can just keep it neutral and forward. This is a carrot. This is my dog's current favorite toy. We're going to release that arm, coming back down to the side of our body. We're going to take our left ear towards the left shoulder this time. Take your left hand, if you'd like that overpressure, and add it to the side of your neck. Certainly taking the right hand and slithering around the lower back. Charming, please lay down, my love. Charming. Don't make me use a stern voice in a yoga class. I know. Can you lay down, please? Thank you. It's kind of more of a flop, but I'll take it. Instead of getting nice chimes, we've got the nice sounds of a squeaker. Let's take that hand, lift it all the way up, place it down onto the floor beside you, and we'll take that right arm and rise it up into a nice deep side bend stretch, reaching up with the fingertips and down through that hip. We're going to rotate the chest up just a little bit more towards the ceiling, letting that heart center lead the way. Again, if the head and neck, if it feels comfortable to rotate looking up towards the ceiling, then you can do that as well. If you want to just keep it neutral and forward, that's perfectly welcome. There's not really a right or wrong. They're just variables, just differences that may cater to one person's body more than the other. Send your breath to those places in the body that are feeling a little bit more restricted. And we'll start to release that arm. Let's place it back down on top of our knees. We're going to do some seated cat-cow tonight. So we're going to work through flexion and extension of the spine. That was just some side bending motion. So we're going to actually, this is one of the very few times I want you to actually slouch. So I want you to round through the pelvis, letting the tummy tuck in, the shoulders round, the head and neck come to the chest. I am 100% using my knees as leverage to help create this stretch. And as I take my next inhale, I'm going to use my arms to pull my spine and make the opposite arching motion, not shrugging through the shoulders, but retracting the shoulders and squeezing them back towards one another. A slight back bend through the neck as well to just promote some throat opening. And then as we exhale, we can round our body, coming back into, this would be our cat equivalent. And then we'll inhale, pulling the body through for our cow equivalent. So some seated cat-cow. We're going to do another round. And another lift. Very good. And now we want to start bringing some movement into the pelvis. So we've started getting our trunk and limber. Here's the carrot. And then I'm going to start to flip around. Take my right leg forward. And my left leg back. We're going to do a low lunge. Low lunges are one of my favorites. I think they're really fantastic for just about anybody because they're very accessible. If this lunge feels a little difficult for you in terms of just reaching the floor, try taking your hands to the inside aspect of that right leg. It should create a little bit more space for your belly and for you to sink a little bit lower to the floor. Of course, if reaching the floor is still challenging, you can always have some blocks or something to kind of elevate on. I have a foam roller randomly in front of me, so if and a carrot continues to find its way, I could always use this foam roller to bridge the gap between the floor and my body. That allows me to keep my spine up just a little bit more easily. But again, you just want to listen to your body and what that feels like. I'm going to roll it back out of the way and take it to the floor. And so we're really trying to open up the front of the left pelvis while also opening the back of the right pelvis. These are great postures if you are perhaps having any goals of maybe achieving the splits someday, because they're great preparation poses for that. Charming, too much. Will you please lay down? Charming. She thinks if she places it on different parts of my body that I understand what she wants. It's just not gonna happen right now. She's a funny girl. All right, I'm gonna take my hands, I'm gonna push into the floor and start to slide my leg back into a hamstring stretch. You can keep both hands on the inside or perhaps surround one arm on each side of that leg so that it just feels a little bit more balanced, and just start to flex those toes up. I'm not just like kind of resting it here, I'm actually actively pulling the toes up towards my face, so that way I'm creating an energetic release to the back side of that thigh. We can lead with an open chest towards the toes, or we can round through our back. So let's do both. Let's inhale, lifting up through our chest. As we exhale, round through the back, tuck the chin towards the chest, drop your forehead into your shin, or you can take the open chest if you have a dog licking your face when you round down. We're gonna take our weight and we're gonna shift it back into that right foot. And then I want you to take your hands and help assist rising back up on top of that thigh. Okay, Charming, thank you. I know, I love you so much. I love you so much. Okay, Charming. That's not helping at all. Please lay down. Okay, so we're shifting back forward. We're gonna take those arms up and above the head so that we progress that low lunge into kind of a warrior preparation posture. This is just helping to bring that spine up nice and tall. Hi, baby. Go get it. Just go get the carrot. You got it. Go get it. And we're gonna release the arms, let them float around to the small of the back, interlace the fingers, extend the chest out once again by binding the palms together. This should feel really nice on the body. Breathing in and out, nice and long and deep. Sinking in just a little bit deeper. And then you can use the strength of this right leg to just start to ease yourself out of that position. You can ooze the arms out as well. Let's slide it back to a kneel. And let's take that other leg forward. You can start the same way that we did on the other side in that low lunge by surrounding the leg, or taking the option to bring that left arm on the inside of the left leg for a little bit more space. It kind of opens up the groin and the inner thigh. Of course, if you could see that right now, that would be helpful. Good thing we've already done the other side. Oh, do you think getting a different toy changes the game? Oh, I see. She got her other favorite toy that squeaks. There's a theme. We're gonna reach the crown of the head far away from the knee. Yep, that's the camera right there. Are you just trying to show the world who you are? This dog. I love you. I love you very much, Charm. Let's push your hands back into the floor, start rounding through the back, flexing those the left foot up so that the toes come towards the face. I'm gonna take my left hand and bring it on the outside of that leg so that I get a little bit of a deeper hamstring focus. Okay. Let's lift up through our chest, taking an inhale. Let's round through the back with our exhale, tucking the chin towards our chest. Hi. Hi. Hello. Hi. Hi. There's your carrot. All right, now let's bring that weight shifting back into that left leg as we bring the pelvis forward. You can use your hands to push up off of that thigh, coming back into that nice low lunge. Take your carrot over there, please. And then lift the arms all the way up above your head. You're so funny. Oh no, not this side. Ugh. Let's release those arms to the small of the back, taking that nice hip opener. I know, baby, I'm sorry. I'm gonna play with you, I promise. Oh. I'd say I'd love to wear her out before these classes, but that's impossible. It never happens. Let's release, coming back down to the floor of the mat, pushing back into the earth, bringing that knee back into place. We're gonna take a nice wide child's pose. I'm gonna separate my knees, sit back onto the heels, stretch my arms out nice and long, let my forehead rest onto the mat. Charming, please lay down. Please lay down. Thank you. On your next inhalation breath, we're going to rise ourselves back up. Ooh, got a little. Here we go. We're going to rise ourselves back up into that tabletop position. I'm going to turn my body to the side. I'm going to take my left leg, slide it to the back of the mat or the floor. You're just going to push back into that foot and the calf tissue so that you can feel a stretch through that area. Then we're going to just release that leg and swap to the other side. Hi. Okay, sure. Let's release that leg back down to the mat. I believe we have a little over 10 minutes left. Yep, that's great. Let's take a couple postures into standing. Maybe I can release my dog of some of her loveliness for the moment. So we're going to transition from downward facing dog. Excuse me, please. Charm, please. Gosh. Flip under all of your 10 toes. Push up off the knees and come back into downward facing dog, tucking your chin towards your chest. Widen your initial stance if that feels comfortable. And then either walk your hands back towards your feet by bending your knees, or your feet can walk towards your hands. I'm going to rest in that fold. And then start to drop through the pelvis, lift through your heart center. Swoop the arms up as you rise with nice strong legs, reaching up tall above your head. And then we'll relax the arms back alongside the hips and pelvis. Now I have a carrot between my legs. Great. I'm going to take my left leg forward. So I'm just going to take a step forward. And now my right leg is behind me. I've got my hips square. We're just going to set up for some warrior one legs. But we're going to do something different with our arms. So with the leg that's behind, so in this case the right, we're going to take the right arm and cross it over the body. The left arm will swoop underneath. We're creating a nice shoulder stretch while we're also further opening our hip. Well, get it. Get your carrot. No, don't jump on me. Go get your carrot. Good. We're going to release that arm. We're going to take it back to the hips. I'm not sure how well this is going to work with my dog right now, but I'm going to try. Shift weight into that left leg. Let me slide back a little bit. Shift weight into that left leg and see if you can take this leg up into a balance. If you want to work on balance tonight, then you can feel free to just try and hold this posture. If you want to take this a little deeper into a quad stretch, you can try and grab the ankle and foot on that right side. Certainly grab a wall or something that's sturdy so that you can have further opening all the way down past the knee. Try not to have the leg flex forward if you can avoid that position. You want to try and pull the leg backwards so that you're actually getting the stretch through the correct muscle, the quadriceps. And we're just going to hold that nice quad stretch or the balance. Let's go ahead and release that leg, and if you can swing it all the way forward and just step it forward, we're going to float right back into the other side. So now I've got my left leg behind and my right leg is forward. I'm going to take the same stance, taking that left arm coming across the body, swooping it underneath to get a nice shoulder stretch. Drop that left shoulder. See how mine was hiking up? I wasn't paying attention because my dog is super distracting, but I'm going to drop that shoulder down and try and take that nice deep shoulder stretch. Let's release the arms. We're going to bring them to the small of the back. I'm going to, excuse me, turn. I'm going to step, I'm just sliding back so I'm still on the camera. I'm going to step this leg up, either just choosing to hover it above the floor in a balance, keeping nice equal pelvis, or taking that leg back into a nice deep stretch, bringing that quadricep into a nice lengthened state. Again, holding onto a wall. I don't really have a wall here, I'm just pretending. But if I had a wall, I could use that for balance, or keep it maintaining it on your hip. Stare at something not moving. It's a very helpful strategy to maintain balance, keeping the breath calm, the core drawn in, all variables that will help with your balance. And we're going to go ahead and instead of stepping deep and forward, we're going to step out to the side, and let's match the other leg stepping out to the side into a little bit of a wider stance. I'm going to just dial the toes relatively forward, but they can have a slight outward turn, and we're going to take a forward fold with a split stance. So I recommend bending those knees before you get going. So let's go ahead and start to bend the knees, keeping the spine nice and tall. We're going to hinge forward. So my chest is still open and lifted versus rounding. So open and lifted. Allow yourself to hinge all the way forward. I'm bending my knees as much as I need so I can reach that floor. Once my hands come in contact with the floor, then I can start to re-straighten the legs back out. Let's take a deep forward fold. So I'm going to tuck my chin towards my chest. If you want to move side to side and just kind of wiggle through the pelvis, feeling a little bit more inner and outer thigh love, then that's a nice addition. Charming. Hi. I know. She took that as an invitation. All right, now what we're going to do is walk the hands forward and then just walk the feet back a little bit, push back into that downward dog that we did. And we're going to drop the knees back down onto the floor. Let's take another child's pose. So nice and wide, leaning back on the hips, reaching the arms forward, forehead rests on the mat. Let's go ahead and rise, coming back up into our tabletop. We're going to take our knees, swivel them around, and lie on our back. Shh, stop, please, please. We're coming to a nice, quiet, peaceful time. Peaceful time. We don't need your carrot chirping. Charming, lay down, please. All right, well, she's gonna lay right next to me. I'm gonna bring both knees into my chest, take my arms, wrap them around. I'm trying to turn my body a little bit here. And you're gonna take those knees into the chest, relaxing on your back. If you wanna roll a little bit side to side, that might feel good to massage that lower back. If you wanna take your hands to the back side of the thighs, you can alternate kicking one leg up towards the ceiling just to re-stretch out those hamstring muscles. One more moment. And take the soles of the feet together. Take your hands, reach through the center, clasp the feet, pull them inward towards the body, enjoying a nice inner thigh groin stretch. And then you can take those soles of the feet and flip them up towards the ceiling, and trying to just engage that row in the upper body so that you feel that sensation along the groin tissues. I hope I'm visible enough. Okay. And let's bring one leg down towards the floor, followed by the second. If you want to let the knees splay, just relax them in that position. That may be comfortable. Your arms, if I could, would rest alongside my body, or you can rest them on your belly. You can also have your legs stretched out to the length of your floor or the mat, wherever you really feel the most comfortable. Thanks. You. Give me that. Shh. Wait. Shh. So, in our yoga practice, again, my intention was to be as kind to my dog as possible while she does not give up with wanting to play. That is her nature, and she's just living in the moment like we all should be. And it's not her fault. I'm not gonna blame her. I know she's got pent-up energy, and this is all she wants to do is play. So sometimes we have those distractions in our life, in our day-to-day world, and when we can put some perspective on them, then it's easier to release them. So I'm gonna leave you with just a few soft and kind words. As you melt your body into the mat, allow yourself to drift off into a very nice and peaceful place, feeling the weight of the back body melt into the floor and the lightness of your front body as it rises towards the ceiling or the heavens, and feeling this really nice balance, this energetic swirl that's happening from the crown of your head, your third eye center, your throat, your heart, your stomach, your sacral area, and then your root, the very base of your spine. The sensation of relaxation is always accessible to you at any point. You just have to clear some of the other mind thoughts that are clouding the way, or some of the other muscular and breathing restrictions that may be present. So we use our yoga practice to help facilitate that release and to find a really peaceful place to rest in. So I encourage you to take the next several moments to spend time just paying attention to your breath, taking an extra long moment to recognize how that feels in your body. You may have a urge or tendency to want to rise, thinking, I think I'm done. Try to take just an extra moment in this position to really feel the sensations of your breath. It will truly start to shape and change the way that you can relate to your day-to-day activities and to others. Allow this time to be just for you, to go deeper into a relaxing state. And this is always accessible to you. It's been my honor and privilege to take you through your yoga practice this evening. The light and honor in me respects and honors the light within all of you. Namaste.